Here we are.
Here
Where
we
have you
are.
all been? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, I guess. We had Donna's on here.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
that
That
last week? I don't even
yeah, it
know.
might have been just last week,
Fuck,
huh?
I can't. I don't know. I
This
don't know what day it
this
is.
whole last week has been a blur.
Yeah, yeah. Partially a drunken blur, partially just a busy blur, but it's definitely blurring
Yeah.
because I didn't even know it was Tuesday till I text you. And I was like, fuck, it's Tuesday. Hey, you wanna hop online or we'll talk about the 600?
Yeah. I was like, and then,
Yeah.
yeah, I figured we might as well do it right after.
Yeah.
We neither of us had the results that we hoped for.
No, I didn't want to toll out my car,
Yeah.
but I did. I did a good job at it too.
Yeah. Well, on the good thing from before, it was hurt pretty bad before, and you didn't reclip it. It would have stung a little worse if you completely reclipped it, got it all nice, and then what happened?
Well, I was just thinking ahead, you know. I said, well, I don't want to do it twice. Really, so one side of the frame, the driver's side, I'd put a big piece of square tube in there to make it a little stronger.
Yeah.
And it looked like shit, but it was like, all right, well, this will keep it from just constantly crushing in. And then I'd cut it and plated it and stuff, so it was pretty sturdy. And then the passenger side I'd done nothing to, and it was the side that got bent last year at the 600, but it bent it in a way that it kind of fixed where where my steering was off. So I just didn't mess with it, right? And but thankfully I did do that, or I think the car would have been even worse because it looks like it's all in front of the cross member.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, like cross member, everything on the front of the motor's screwed up. Couple like center link and a couple little things, and then the steering rod, all that stuff is whacked. But
trying to stay positive. Did my very first year at the 600, did very few laps both nights.
Yeah.
Then last year I run third, but they'd changed the format.
Yeah.
And I got no money out of that. This year I third the first night, not overall or anything. This year I was 22nd the first night, and at least I got a little bit of cash out of that.
Is it so they pay the top 25?
They must, yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was 20 or 25, but yeah, I mean, considering our little group there, Donna's got 19th the first night. My cousin Robert got 20th.
Yeah.
And you got what, 22nd?
22nd.
I mean, hell, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I want to say Jesse was 30 something or something.
And I had
can't remember.
I got a flat tire first. I had to go in for a pit.
He was dragging your front bumper at one point.
Yeah, I had two. I always try and go over things in my mind. I really, and this sounds like an obviously. Okay, Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
You got to stay out of that middle line. The middle line, because things happen and you just can't move.
The first dents I got on my car was from being in the middle line.
Yeah. The top has, you can
at least fuck off the top of the turn.
And the bottom you can duck under the tires, whatever. But what happened was, it wasn't that big a deal, but I saw the cars coming and I hit the brakes, and I think I hooked both their wheels with that bumper, and it just pulled it off, right? And it had to have chains on it. That's one of Brad's deals. It has to have chains.
One suggestion while we're talking about chains, I think you need shorter ones.
What I need to do is tack them up at least to the mount.
It's like 3 links.
Yeah.
That way, even if it comes loose, it's still a little bit of a chain.
Yeah.
Because it was dragging pretty good.
Yeah, I had them the chains go all the way back to my frame, so that if the mounts got bent down. But next time I'm going to tack them up. I'm going to weld them to.
Well, they're shorter now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And you should have saw
everything got cut off.
Yeah, you should have saw
your car was other cut off.
So then
you come inside, you come on the track.
I come in,
cut off.
And they got the bumper off. They cut the chains. I went back out, and I knew at this point, y'all probably don't know what my car looks like, but it's got 2 spears sticking straight out of it at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know in my mind, I'm like, they're not going to let this fly very long.
Oh.
And so I do quite a bit of racing, and I'm super careful. I have no protection on the front end now, and we get a red, and the guy comes over and he's like, "You can't have that hanging out like that." I'm like, "All right." So
understandable.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do the yellow. I go off, and we cut those off. And one more thing happened. I can't remember. I ended up hitting a total of 4 times.
You just kept losing parts of your car every time you came in.
Yeah. It just yeah, definitely. And and then the worst wreck of the whole deal didn't even, like, I didn't have to pit for it. It was with 7 to go, and I was racing the number 1 car. I can't think of that guy's name.
Paul White?
And yeah. And he always races super clean and everything.
He's like national champ.
And we had 10
and everything.
We had 10 to go. And so, like, it gave him plenty of room, but like, I like to race. Like, that's one of my fun things, even up at Canton, is if you start toward the back, just racing up till I find somebody to race with and race. And, and so we were racing pretty good. And then they had a parking lot in turn 4, and I had no, like, my reaction point was just to cut it so that it hit on the side. It knocked the support bar that goes around. It just knocked it out of the back of so I had to put another one of those in on Saturday morning.
600 several years back, and this car actually this weekend of when that picture was taken, I got doored real bad, T-bone in a bad big pile. That's probably 8 cars. And it ripped the main post at my, right here.
Yeah.
And all my door bars was moved in, and I was gonna just cut all that shit out and go buy a cage kit and put it all in the next day. Well, Day Motorsports carries cage kits. Smiley's doesn't. It was probably a good move. I remember TJ, or it might have been Jared or GT or somebody. They were just like, I don't think TJ was around then, but they was like, it's probably saved your life that you didn't do that dumb shit and drive out, because it was,
Billy was rolling pretty good around the top for a while. He was.
Yeah, man. The car was perfect. I can't. That damn car was just on point.
Yeah, you in the videos that I have from my car before you got too far away from me, but I mean, you could run on the high side and you were blowing a big old rooster in that loose stuff, but it was still moving forward.
Yeah, I'd stick my right rear up on the cushion, and it was just gone after that. But a couple times I went off it. A couple people would, trying to miss a wreck, and so I was trying to save it, from just running over somebody. But was keeping it clean, and they just kept leaving the high side open, so I just kept hammering down on it, man. And I don't know that I wish I could have made a lot more laps, obviously, in that car, but next night Chris White loaned me his backup car, the big gray battleship. And did 103 laps for the water pump. Finally pushed the pulley off of it. But
I don't know what happened here, because I had your video loaded. Let me see if I can get it back up here right quick.
This is Billy Wreck right there.
Where did it say that?
To the left.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. So my Friday night ended abruptly. I did my fastest lap on lap 29, and then guy blew up going down the front straightaway. And I wish it was a little more obvious in the video, because it looks like I just come out of nowhere full blast. But I'd been on the brakes for it felt like half the straightaway. And if you've ever drove a race car on a dirt track and you hit water and you hit the brakes, it's just like sliding on ice. And I sped right into that old boy that had already slid into it, and they were wrecking after me, before me.
Let's here it is.
All right, here.
Bound for here, but I never saw it.
So Jamie Songer, he's always a tough competitor. Man, we got him blowing up. Now the 16 car takes out. Oh, we're gonna have a stop on that guy's
driver's door.
So
I've talked to him the last couple of days, so I went and checked on him afterwards, and we're both still. He's like, I feel like I'm 90 years old putting my shirt on.
And we're going to show that
Bound for
again.
here, but I never
I don't
saw
have
it.
any slow motion.
So Jamie
or
Songer,
anything,
he's always
so.
a tough
Well, the
competitor.
slow-mo
Man,
just
we
looks
got
like
him
I
blowing
hit
up. Now the
fucking
16 car takes out. Oh, we're gonna have it. We're gonna have a
yeah.
stop
I was
on
trying
that
to. I was trying to miss him, and everybody was just did that, and then there's a wreck, smoke, dust.
Well, that's me in my 360 camera was off by that point, so I don't.
I completely forgot to bring mine.
Because sometimes I remember things different than really what they are, so it's kind of nice to have that 360. Sometimes it's not because I look at it and I go, "Oh, you were just an idiot."
Yeah.
And but I know I looked up at one point and was going to go that direction, and I think that hole looked like it might close. I didn't have any protection on the front of the car at all at this point, and so I hit the brakes. I jerked the wheel left and hit the brakes and slapped it with the side of my car.
When you got a split-second decision when you're on the track, all you can do is the quickest thing you can think of usually. And I was on the brake like this.
You don't have but a split second to think about it, and your car doesn't always react the way that you want it to, even at that.
Not when the track's wet. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was me and that old boy pretty bruised up. I know where my Hans device is. I'm all bruised right there, and inside of my legs is big bruises.
Yeah. It flipped my headrest out. I had to.
Oh yeah, seen that.
I had to bend that back.
Jesse's bruised up, beat up too.
Oh,
from him
yeah.
getting hit. His motor at least showed it lost oil pressure. We're thinking that the oil pressure gauge might have quit, but he killed it, and he already had his window net down and stuff, waiting for somebody to come push him, and they went green, and he ended up getting slammed, and pretty good hit. They checked him for a concussion in the pits and stuff, and anyway, I think we can fix the car. His is mostly like brackets for shocks and stuff that are messed up and suspension parts, but somehow both headers are bent.
So that's the other thing that I had. When I knocked all that front end off, I have a cooler on my power steering.
Oh yeah, it got the leaking.
And it got knocked out of the bracketry somehow. It had no bolts left in it, whatever, come loose, whatever happened to it. So I think it was dangling on the ground, and it knocked the fittings loose and was leaking. So Chris called me in. So with that LS, you can make it where it doesn't hardly have any timing in it when it starts.
Yeah.
So it'll start pretty easy back. You can shut it off, and it was running right on the ragged edge of being hot. And so I was shutting it off on the reds. And Chris Harrington calls me in. He's like, thumbs down, get in here. So when they go yellow, I crank it, but it still takes just a couple seconds. And I head across the infield. I cut before they throw the green, but I don't think they realized what I was doing. So they throw the green, another horrible decision. I'm headed up. They throw the green, and it's not them throwing the green's fault. I should have just jerked it left immediately. I didn't know how bad a situation I was in. I went up the racetrack, caught Robert as he come by.
Oh hell!
And and somehow it didn't tear either one of our cars up, but it was a hard hit. It rung my bell in there, and it was so that was just something that I'm not sure what I should have done at that point, but what I did was
it wasn't
not
that. Huh?
Well, yeah, not that.
One, yeah.
That was not the right move.
I seen Robert almost get flipped Saturday night. I'm about half a straightaway back from him. He's fixing to go into turn 4, and they're like 4 wide, and the dude just squeezed him up in the wall, and I just seen him climb up on the wall like this. He had that big old wagon roof up there, and I was like, well, that's not good.
And but his car didn't look bad.
It didn't mess it up.
By the end of the weekend,
I'm sure something's tweaked.
Yeah,
but he never pulled in or nothing on that one, so that was good.
Mine was just
your car's unrecognizable on one side.
Yeah, it was that.
So much for new sheet metal.
So my little door bar I have, Nerf bar kind of, but it runs inside the body. I asked Brad, I go, hey, could I just run with nobody on the right side? And he come over and he goes, that sticks outside of the tire. You got to cover it with something. He's like, I don't care what. So I cut about half my door and plastered it on there.
I was wondering why you just put the number on the outside of that.
Yeah, that was, he's like, you got to cover that with
Robert said I was looking at the ground.
Looking at the ground.
Yeah.
Me and Robert had some good racing though. We raced around each other.
Robert made a pretty quick time there Friday night for sure. He did one faster than Jesse, so I'm sure that's bragging rights there, Robert.
Shannon in
the 3 car.
Yeah, what's our buddy's
Colton's car.
Colton.
Yeah. It's actually Shannon's car.
Is
Colton
it?
drives
okay. He was just steady and like I don't know what happened through the night, but like I was passing him, but every time I passed him, he kept that car so nice and straight and was just driving good laps with it, and I was happy for him because last year sometimes he was, and I don't mean to be mean, but sometimes he was a risk to get by.
This is the only time he races really. Randomly, I think he might race throughout the year. So yeah, he got plenty of seat time in, and I think their plan is that he's going to take that car with him where he lives, somewhere I think South Texas or something like that, or West Texas, and then Colton's going to get another car and run it.
But nice
for factory stock.
Yeah, that was, but I just kind of thinking
he did real good. Robert did real good. Donna's did great.
Yeah.
He did the best out of all of us.
Yeah.
Both nights.
I about put him an extra spring in the left rear because somebody said he was missing a spring, and I jacked it up, and he had a coil over on there that was must I don't mean to tell his setup, but must be pretty soft because it was collapsed pretty hard. And there was that open, and I'm like, I guess he did, and his the quarter panel was laying right down on the tire at that point, And so I run in there and grab a spring out of your trailer, and I'm like, somebody jack it up. And they're like, no, don't put that in there.
No, that's my setup on there. I put that coil over.
Oh, okay.
That's coil over on that side with 2 shocks, kind of like a late model.
Yeah.
But I kept the regular spring bucket.
Yeah,
like the regular B-Mod would be, just in case something went south.
He almost got a spring in there.
Yeah.
Another 300 pounds or something. So I looked in your trailer, and I don't know if you're this organized or what. I grabbed one over here, and it was like I could tell the wire diameter was pretty small on it. And so I grabbed one on this end. It felt pretty like wire diameter was pretty big on it. Yeah. And I'm like, that's our baby right there.
Well, I'm not organizing it like that, but they was separated by color. For at least the start of the weekend.
And so that didn't, but then I noticed his quarter panel was loose, and I went ahead and.
That was the only thing he lost.
I cut.
Other than I think he had a shock on Saturday night. He had a shift and linkage brake, and he was hung in second. That's why he pulled in. He didn't know about the shock.
Yeah.
And then he got hit in the left front tire. Friday is when he pulled off because it broke the ball joint out.
Yeah, I cut that quarter panel off. And he's like, "Can you hold on to this? I got to put my gloves back on." So he had the hand clutch. So I had to keep the keep that hand clutch for him until he was ready to roll.
I don't think he'd ever messed with a hand clutch before, but a lot of people haven't.
That's I haven't.
Old school stuff.
Yeah, I haven't.
It was funny is every time I got in that big gray 15 car. It's got a 3-speed in it. And I would reach over there for a hand clutch just because it's an old school car. And I was thinking hand clutch. I thought, nope, it's every time.
I had one night that I did dual. I run a sport mod and my pro stock, and the pro stock had the Brin in it, and the sport mod not allowed your regular clutch.
Yeah.
And that was a big concern going in there. But it was funny how it just like. Both cars just fit. They were just the cars that I drove, and I never got confused one time on it.
Yeah. Brad, man, we appreciate you more than you know. We had a blast. I wish we could have got to bullshit with you some more over the weekend.
Yeah,
you was busier than we were, and I know we was busy. So thanks for allowing us to enjoy a weekend like that, and with all of our friends and family, and letting us have the pit party. Man, I think people really enjoyed that, and they put on a good show. And
I think so. I've been on TikTok with, if anybody had videos from the stands, I've asked a few people like why just to know, I didn't feel like we got a big crowd participation with that, and I was hoping for crowd participation. Yeah. And I got a couple, and they were like, "We just didn't realize it was a free thing, and this and that."
Yeah.
And so we'll work on that better. I'll get with Jackson. Hopefully, he can do it again with us next year. One thing with Brad, so all that is coming together in pretty late in the day. Jackson had to work that day.
Yeah.
So he didn't get in till about 6. So he's never been to the races, never. And so I'm trying to make sure he gets in the back gate, knows where to park and stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Can get his other guys in. And Heather was at the back gate and helping, but like I feel like I'm going to have to kind of walk him through. And then I go to, I'm like, okay. And then when you get this, you need to be up there at the flag stand 6:30, 6:45-ish. You got to be at the flag stand. Don't fucking think. He don't know what a flag stand. He's never been to the races. He's like,
it's hard to explain something to somebody when they have no clue.
He's probably looking for the flagpole wherever it's at, right? He's not thinking that where they flag from.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in this rush, I did not grab my receiver, and I'm sitting down there. Nobody's at my car. Logan comes over. He finally pulls down there. Just I don't know why. I don't know if I had enough telepathy. He pulls in there, and I'm like, "You got to at all costs try and get my receiver back to me." I'm like, "There's a red one in the top of my box. Find a battery for it, and there's headphones plugged into it."
Yeah.
And so Brad has asked everybody to leave the track, right? And Brad's trying to run a program.
Yeah.
And here comes Logan barreling back on, and and I'm glad he gets him. And here comes Brad running to my car, and I'm thinking he's going to yell at Logan, and he's like, "Where's your guy for the anthem?" And I'm like, I told him to be at the flag stand. I don't know. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. And I was like, but I watched it on Race On already, and he was up at the tower. It looked like.
Oh,
they got it all done. But anyway, it was it was crazy. It was like I'd had all day to do everything. Everything was pretty put together, but then right there was such a rush that some things fell through the cracks.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the band walking up to the track from their trailer at some point in the middle of me pulling off and getting back on, or something like that. Yeah. I just remember them going up there, or I might have been. I don't remember, but I remember seeing them walking up there.
And Arthur, he says that he used a hand clutch.
I bet he did. Arthur's old school.
Oh yeah. Trent said Skinny's tri-tip was better than winning. I tell you what,
it was good.
It's pretty damn good, and he has a good way to introducing it to East Texas.
Yeah,
because, he cooks it really well. And,
man, speaking of Trent, man, I'm super proud of him for winning that thing. But you know that just says a lot about how talented he is as a driver. Even Donald's just like, man, he said, I followed him for a while. He said he keeps that car straighter than anybody else.
He keeps it straight and keeps it super clean.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't seem to take any chances that he doesn't have to, yet he still manages to make it fast.
I need to talk to him because I keep just taking chances and I keep fucking up.
Well, and once I lost my front bumper, there was those guys that, and I'm not saying they're bad drivers, but like 851, there's a few guys that I've gotten to know over the years.
Yeah.
And they'd get around me, and I'd try and follow them for as long, because they will use their bumper a little bit, and they'll make a hole, and I was trying to follow them through because I had I couldn't make any. If I made holes, it was going to be 2 tiny ones in somebody's car, and I don't want to do that.
I like racing. I don't like working on nothing, and I try to keep my shit as clean as possible.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. Some of them guys do like using a little bit of bumper.
The right rear shock was broke off the gray car. That's probably why the handling was going away.
Well, I thought it was the trunk being up.
Yeah,
that was a huge part of it. When I pulled out and had a trunk-sized spoiler propped up.
And
Brad, if anybody found a pry bar out there, I'd like that back, or a gas cap. So I pulled off when I was putting gas in the car. I had no idea. So
Yeah. But definitely,
I got a good picture of that too.
Skinny and I went to breakfast on Monday before he had to head out, and he was just like, I don't, I don't know how we make that any better weekend than it was.
Winning.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I said, just finishing better, but could have been no better time in the pits or.
There's such a good group of people. There wasn't no drama. There wasn't no issues like that. I feel like I've got parts on about 30 different cars out there right now. People coming over and borrowing stuff.
Right.
Whether it's like somebody's like, I just need some wire. I don't even remember who it was, and I was like, that extension cord is junk. You cut it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here, somebody come by needing parts, that I didn't have in.
What's up, Luke?
What's up, Luke? Thanks for your help this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you can get it off the wagon, you can have it.
Right. And that's Tristan and Charles. They were working on his car on Saturday.
Poor Tristan, man.
And they were like, is it this? And Chris Harrington is my go-to engine guy.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about making them run. I got where I can tune it a little bit, but when there's a problem, I call him. And he wasn't there Saturday. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I really have no idea. But I have a spare engine in there, and you guys are welcome to anything off of that, because by this time I had my car ready to go for Saturday. I'm like, anything off of that car or off of that engine, you're welcome to. I'm like,
Ken Bowman blew up Friday night, and he had an LS in his. And I said, well, I did see a motor sitting in Lee's van over there. And he's like, really?
Yeah, and he would have been welcome to it. I watched him pick up a Milwaukee battery in turn 2 under one of the reds. So as I went out for Saturday.
Well, it wasn't mine.
Yeah, it's not my battery either.
It was probably Chris's.
But when I was refilling my radiator, I couldn't remember. I got 2 thin funnels, and I fill it right out of the temperature gauge sensor.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember which one fit, so I took 2 over there, and I couldn't remember which one fit. I got all filled up, all that, and I kept looking for my black funnel. And I was like, where are my black funnel? Well, then when I make it out on the track, I look over and see it in the car. And there was a guy walking by, and and I'm like, you take this funnel, like you can just have it or throw it over the fence or whatever. But it's one less thing I need rolling around in my car.
Well, you're talking about your radio deal. I had a similar thing Saturday night because I'd swap cars, and usually all my stuff's kind of like shoved in my helmet. Gloves and radio and all that stuff. And I go getting buckled in, and thank God I'm like close to the fence where like Jordan and the rest of the crew are at. And I'm like, I don't have gloves or radio. They were in the little bag that I keep a bottle of water in the wagon, which in the wreck got ripped and went in the deal. Well, I just grabbed it and just shoved them in it and threw it somewhere in the wagon. And so I had to get them. They bring me the whole bag. Somebody brings me the whole bag. A crew guy for the guy next to me went and got it from the fence because I'm already buckled in. It just had gloves in it. I have no clue where the radio is at. And they're like, "Where's it at?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And out of nowhere, probably, it's like last minute, like you said, Brad's yelling at people to get off the track. Here comes Dylan riding up on a four-wheeler. He just hands it to me. So it's all wound up. I just shove it in my jacket. And under pace laps, I'm driving. I've done took my gloves off, and I'm trying to feed it up in my helmet
under there.
And I got it all figured out. But
Luke says he found a car for next year, $200.
All you need is about $8,000 more, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, it'll go out there at that. Jimbo Dalton, enjoyed the weekend. Thanks for the tires. Great to see all of you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out. How'd you do in that new car? I see he ended up with that car that was on that raffle.
Oh,
yeah. I believe that's who it was. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Because he kept tagging me saying if we don't win, we're gonna put tire marks on it. And then he was like, "Please don't put tire marks on it." And I got it. I don't think he won it. I think he ended up buying it from the guy that won. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Man, it was good seeing a lot of people that we don't get to see. That's one thing I love about that race is that people from all over the country that are friends. I mean, like I did a little interview with Race On, and from in our pit, we had Canada, Australia. Hot Carl come down. He's up there in Minnesota, Texarkana, and then we got like Skinny, California.
Yep.
And then we got it's just a huge group of us there, from a little bit of everywhere, and it's just such a good time, We across from us is Luke in the cool bus.
Yeah.
He lives over in Alabama.
Did he come over and visit with me?
He come over and visited.
Super nice guy.
Jamie Saunder came over and visited with us. He's from fucking one of those I states. I don't remember which one. Iowa, maybe.
So we had 2 cars. We had 3. We had Donna's, we had Shannon, and we had Robert between you and I in the pits. And it felt like we were
a mile apart.
That was the funniest thing.
As I had to go get food. It took me 30 minutes to go get food because the people kept stopping to talk to me.
So I walk over to your pit one time, and I'm just there, and I think Jesse goes, "What do you need?" And I'm like, "I just come over to visit because it seemed like I hadn't seen you guys in a little while."
I got there first, and Tristan was already parked there. And I'm glad he parked next to us because I like him.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we try to help him. And he was good help for us when he couldn't race. And him and his son's real good kid and everything. And so, and as people were pulling in, I'm just like filing them in. And so that's just where we ended up.
Yeah.
First come, first serve.
And it worked out good. And yeah, just let my son drive it, made 115 and spun and got hit. Ricky O'Neill was driving for the first time ever. Now he's hooked on our
115 is a good number.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I think that's pretty good. It's better than I did both times. I didn't. I seen the Orange 8. Excuse me. That was from Louisiana. That was Gene Boyer. I was losing my mind there for a minute. The orange one.
Yeah, I didn't.
And that was an old hot chassis from back in the day. I think it was actually his car from back in the early 2000s. He used to own Arclitect Speedway. Gene did. I think he burned motor up or something, blew head gasket or something Friday. Yeah.
Luke said he had a good time visiting with Billy Senior.
Yeah, y'all got the same color beard now, Luke.
Skinny just he loved hanging out with your dad there. Friday night, I think it was, and oh man, was it Saturday night that they had a bottle of Honey Jack.
I went to bed before all of them fuckers did. Saturday night, I was over it. I couldn't even. I was trying to drink beer. I didn't drink so much over the weekend, and then just being dehydrated.
Yeah,
I'm drinking a ton of water, but then it was like it's like the back of my teeth felt dry. Like I don't know. I was like, the beer's not doing it. I'm going to bed.
Skinny, like we did right with keeping. We got Skinny still on the quarter panel of the car, and that was I fucked up and never went over and got a shirt. I was going to go over there. It's every time I was close to it. I'm on a mission somewhere, and well.
Brad, if you're watching, you got any extra shirts?
He's watching. I need to get one. He keeps commenting. Yeah. But like Skinny bought a lot of shirts and a lot of hoodies because he just loved that his name was on there. His name was on the event shirt, and he has been so good to me throughout. I love when he's happy.
Well, I've known him for a year, and he's good to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I wish I could have got to hang out with him a little more, but. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Uncle Steve here. It's great to see everyone. My brother introduced me to some new friends. Sorry it wasn't much help, but damn good time. Man, it was really good seeing you.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to he only lives like an hour and a half or so from there up in Oklahoma. And so it was good. We don't get to see him often.
Your dad come over and he was like, "You remember who this is?" And I'm like, why are you testing me like that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, unfortunately, I don't. And I was kind of busy.
Well, you'd met him for a minute.
And no, I did a really nice
job. That's what I'm saying. But they're just for a minute.
Yeah, I did a really nice sign for his RV park.
Yeah,
and he bragged on that to me again, and how many people complimented on it. And I was like, oh yeah, but like, when your dad, you remember who this is? I'm like, no, but
I had probably 10 people go, you don't remember my name, do you? I don't remember half the people that's helping me this weekend's name, to be honest. But
yeah. we had Stacy's brother-in-law and sister, they got them a bus shirt, and
I was gonna go there and get one. Since I have an actual bus now.
yeah,
I had a bigger school bus than Luke.
yeah.
But it's not near as fast.
Can't wait for the solo. Jimbo Dalton definitely got me hooked.
Hey,
That's good.
It's like Richard Childress said. Once you drive a race car, nothing compared to it. You'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And especially a race like that. That's such a good race. I'd say it's a good race to get your feet wet. It's not really a good race. In a sense, it is, because it's a good race to get seat time if you can stay out there.
Yeah.
But it's not good if you ain't got balls, I guess. If you're gonna go out there and bullshit around, you're in the way, because we're moving,
So,
But if you can get it figured out, if you're early in your career of driving, what a great way to get some seat time.
And what I liked about Rocket, I liked it and disliked it a little bit, was the tire wear was awesome, amazing for 300 laps.
I know, like at least 3 people in our group didn't even change tires for the next night.
Didn't.
Yeah.
Mine looked amazing.
Well,
I had those big H500s on, and I had tires sponsored. I had brand new ones there, and I was like, no, I'm just leaving these on.
Donna's buffed his,
Yeah.
and Shannon, I don't think he did change his. Mine, I did a different car, so it doesn't matter. But
because last year at 105, I finished third that first night, and the format was different, so they just paid the top 2 spots, and I was like, man, I went through $700 worth of tires.
Yeah.
Tonight I had to have brand new. Actually, we bought 3, and I run a different left front I had.
Yeah.
But I mean, in some ways, you'd like everybody to have to manage their tires maybe a little bit, but it sure was nice at the end of the day to not.
I said this over the weekend too. Is as far as affordability, you don't want tire wear.
Yeah.
But being a competitor, you want somebody to have to go in there and have a shitty pit crew.
Yeah.
Because I know we got a pretty good crew, and so I'm like, I wouldn't mind some tire wear, But I remember that one year at Devil's Bowl, the last year we were there on Friday night, and it's the only time Devil's Bowl's ever been that way. When we were there, it was really, really bad. I got 4th that night, and I went through 3 right rears, and I spent every dime I won on tires for the next night. And then the next night, they still had tits on them after the race.
Right.
It was crazy. I think that was some of the tires that you ended up with.
Yeah, some of those still did have tits.
Yeah.
He says I did good until I didn't. That's about.
Yeah, me too.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, me too.
We'll catch up on some of these. There you go. Yeah.
Hey, he did good. He did more laps than I did.
Yeah, cool track.
And hey, Rocket is a super nice place, and it's well lit too. I like that it was pretty lit up.
The ladies in the pits, I heard that they were all like pretty happy with the bathrooms. They're not the super nice facilities, but they were clean and well stocked at all times.
I will brag on they had good toilet paper.
Yeah.
If you drink a bunch of beer and nachos and everything that we was eating, you're gonna need good toilet paper.
Yeah, Trent, man, you sure did good this weekend though. That was
yeah, it was. There he is. His nuts dropped. He wins the damn thing.
Yeah.
He's a way better driver than me.
You're right. Brandon Williams, first time there from California. Wife and I loved it. Heck yeah.
Yeah, man. It was a good time, man. I believe I got to visit with him, and he said he was going to send me some pictures. He put some in the comments and stuff. Real nice guy. I'm glad they came down.
Oh wait, that script.
Yeah,
one coming.
Little front drive.
Yeah.
But one of them ran me off track at one point. One of them was one that ran Robert up on the wall. But
you just had to kind of wait, because they would have their tires cocked one direction. Like if you wanted to go under them, you had to wait, because they were going to go that direction, and then they would overcorrect and when they overcorrected, that was your shot to get by. But you better get by.
They were tricky to get by in the turns. Like they tried to be consistent as possible. You could tell they were doing all they could. I've drove one of those on a track before, other than the
Yeah.
Fred Lobster, and they can get a little squirrely.
My mom,
I can't imagine I don't know what they would even set the toe at on those things.
my mom, bless her heart, she always kind of thinks people are after me, and I'm like, nobody knows me out here. Like I was fast in a different life, and nobody's worried about me being fast out here, Mom. But she was like, I think that guy in that little car tried to get you, and I'm like, no, he didn't. He didn't. It's fine. He just headed around there, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a good weekend to have good toilet paper.
So, what did you try to manage visibility when the dust was?
Well, what I did was total my car out and then stayed in the pits. So that's what I did.
I kept thinking,
I don't recommend that. That was a bad strategy on my part.
I'm like, I need to pull off. I just need to pull off. But it's so hard because like everybody's there. It's a race you've been waiting on every year.
You're a racer. You're not
all year.
You might slow down some. But you're not gonna pull off.
So finally, what I did was tried to run close enough to somebody in front of me that I could see them, and I was hoping they were running close enough to somebody in front of them that they could see them, and I was hoping that train was going all the way around the racetrack. And that's all that I did.
Back to what you said earlier. Don't run the middle.
Yeah. Don't run the middle. I did. Yeah. There was a couple times that I bailed under tires in that dust storm, and
which made it more dust.
Which made more dust.
Well, most of that dust was coming from the very top, or the infield.
And I didn't. It was just a knee jerk reaction, and I heard Brad. He was like, "Don't go under the tires," and I'm like, "But in that dust, you didn't know where to do. The infield seemed like a safe place.
Don't go into the tires mainly."
And so that.
Get some more pictures. What you're talking about? Yeah, man. Thank you. Those are some good pictures too.
Yeah, I've been just saving them. Pray. Look for bright colored bumpers to follow.
And that's a big deal. Is having something on the back of your car that's bright. Like Robert's back bumper is green. I know mine and Jesse's are orange. The back of your car is usually white.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is definitely handy for cars in these things, man.
As Donna's would say, we already made a walkabout in the back 40 looking to see if we can build a few more. That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I gotta go cut the front clip off a couple cars, I think.
Our Airbnb toilet paper thinner than Charmin, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I was driving through the infield.
He told me he was going to run the bottom. I didn't know he was going to run that low though. And shout out to Chris White too for letting me drive his car. Man.
Yeah.
I think.
And that thing it's amazingly fast for what it looks like.
Everybody was like, "Well, you can't drive the top like you was in the wagon." I was like, "Well, I guess we'll see."
Yeah. Brandon, it is a lot like that. I think I've been to Silver Dollar once or twice, and yeah.
I didn't know Silver Dollar was in California.
They have one.
Oh, it's a different one?
Yeah, probably. Here we go.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Everything's always fixable.
What's my name, man? What's my name? I'll fix it.
Need a couple front clips. One thing on day 2, the track was, and it wasn't necessarily slimy, but it was heavier, more water into it. And I like following Jesse because he drives pretty hard, and those slicks don't throw a whole lot of mud up. And because there was a couple guys out there that were pretty lead-footed on that, and you would get behind them, and I would go ahead and give it this to.
I got to counting under one red. I had on Saturday. I had like 4 or 5 tear-offs left. I took my glove off so I could count them, and I'm like, I'm in a bind.
Yeah.
So I'd been scraping it off already, and then when my fan belt first came off, I'm like, somebody bring me tear-offs, and I think George brought me a package of them, and they were some that we had in the trailer that don't fit nobody's helmet. I never could get them on. I was just fine, like, fuck it.
So night 1, they pulled us down to the infield, and Mike Skelly, he come over and talked to me and was very nice, and we were BSing there.
Yeah.
And he goes, my problem now, and he was talking about my radiator being exposed, and I said, yeah. And he goes, my problem is I don't have any tear-offs. And I was like, oh my God, because
that's a problem.
Yeah, because they just watered it again. Well, when all that dust happened, I pull from the right and I leave the tabs on the left. When the dust got so bad, it was just easier. Just one less thing to look through. I reached up and pulled all my tear offs off and threw them aside. Well, when he said that, I got to looking and they were all still there. So I started stacking mine back on. Had it not been for him, I wouldn't even have thought about that.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, don't be sorry.
Yeah.
We're all.
That goes to show right there. We sometimes in this race, what I tell people, you want to get out of the car, you want to be mad at somebody,
Right.
or for whatever reason. And I never had no trouble with that car, but I've been in this race before, and you're like, son of a bitch, that guy was killing me. Like he was just all over the place, this and that. And then after the race, you're having a beer and you're talking to this guy, and he's like, man, my spindle was bent and I was tore out, and I was just trying to stay on the track, make laps, and all this stuff. And you're like, oh, what car was you driving? You're like, and he tells you it's the one that your bitch. You're like, well, do you have the parts to fix it? Let me help you out.
Exactly.
Let's get you back out there the next day. So, yeah, no problem, man. That's the way it goes. Robert there had a $500 motor in his car. He did pretty good with that old cheap motor he had, man. I was pretty pumped about that.
The 15 car was moving. It was
the big gray machine, and that's the one. Tristan's from Canada. He's going to drive it at the Solo 275.
Jordan says she was just brought what she was told.
Well, I knew they were in there, and that's all it. Then when I got out of the car, I seen packages of them everywhere. I don't know if they were empty or not, but somebody was looking.
Yeah, I couldn't keep. Mine was on the ragged edge all Friday. Even when the nose come off, I thought, oh, good, at least it's going to cool now, and it didn't. I took some timing out of it, and a little more fuel, and it was way better the day two, for as far as I managed. Yeah, put the extra tear offs on there and brake to rework the track. I'm going to take extra tear offs next year.
He brought some. He brought him a sleeve of the old school ones. You can put them on one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I remember Jared's old enduro car. He had a little bag in there just for that kind of stuff.
Honestly, what I was thinking, I'll probably make a little mount to strap my other helmet to, and on a red, I can just change my helmet. What
if you just did a shield? Make a shield to where it has a quick. If you did like the Zeus Fasters with the wing nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how that shit works.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to try that.
That'd be a lot less room because I don't have much room for another helmet. So that's why I'm thinking.
Well, I got a whole passenger side in my car, so yeah.
I mean, I got a wagon, but it's only good for one person.
Yeah, because I got thinking
I could just make
and then take extra tear offs on the next one if I think I need it. I'd sit there and put tear offs on the other helmet, right, to get it ready for the next.
Well, I remember one year at the 600, and it was super wet, and I'd been a valve early in the race, so I was out. Well, Robert pulls in. I think I give him my helmet. We start putting tear offs on his helmet, and Jesse pulls in. We give him another helmet.
Yeah.
And at some point, I think everybody had worn every helmet. We were just sitting there, just swapping helmets until we were out of tear offs. Yeah. Then we're just like, well, we're just cleaning the shields and sending you back out. It was just one of those. I want to say it rained a lot that day or before the race or something, and but that was you've seen the video that they on the promo stuff, and the guy takes his shirt off and starts cleaning the dude's helmet. It was that night. Right. It was that night. It was wet. That was the wettest one so far.
Yeah, Jesse he got antifreeze on his.
Oh, really?
And at some point, and so she took my helmet that I had on. Yeah,
they still sell those, Robert.
Yeah.
We looked into those. I think the only downside of those, if you get too much on it, it'll fuck up, right?
Yeah, and I got one because when I was working on I was doing a roll off for a GoPros.
Yeah.
But now with the 360 cameras, everything's a little bit different, and I don't know if it's that big a market for what I had in mind,
Yeah.
So I've kind of set that aside. But you brought me one up to kind of look at and make sure.
Yeah.
See what was going on. Was that mud pool paint?
Yeah, well, that old gumbo clay it's good for racing. It's terrible for washing.
Yeah, and and I'll definitely get mad. I'm going to go back to this. I'll get mad at people on track, uh, mostly when it's happened over and over again. There's one particular guy that's on my mind, but I really do. Like, I don't remember the name, but like he led with the apology of, and it's no problem. Like, we need new drivers to the race. We need new drivers to the sport.
Yeah.
As a whole. So there's so many times that you'll see people in the mini stock division be like, that guy don't even need to be racing. And you're like, dude, you're in the mini stock division. That's where people start. And that's
right.
where, I can understand that you're mad, but everybody needs to be racing. We all need to race.
I've got on this soapbox a few times before, but definitely if you're new to racing, ask for help, but don't ask for help from the guy that's in the back.
Yeah.
Go to somebody that does good. He ain't got to win every week, but you can go to somebody that's at least consistent, somebody that you're a fan of, not somebody you're just friends with. Because I've seen it so many times where it's just a group of guys and their buddies, and they're constantly taking advice from each other, and none of them can make it out of the heat race.
Right.
And you're just like, if y'all would talk to somebody that was beating you, instead of each other, you would figure something out.
And then they all just assume everybody else is cheating when you get to all that started. But
yeah,
Steve says put a spare seat in it and put the tear offs on. That's And so talking about not being prepared, my window net is right over there. It's all frayed up. And Brad in the driver's meeting, he's like, if you don't have a net, figure it out. If you don't have gloves, figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I walk by, you're like, I gotta figure it out.
I gotta figure out a window net because I left mine. I didn't go buy a new one, and I left mine. And luckily, Chris White, he had a passenger seat in one, or at least it had been a passenger seat car.
And then the next night, he had a passenger in his car. So he took the window net out of the car that the other car he had that didn't work, but the rod didn't work, so he took it out of the wagon. He just told me that. He's like, I took the rod out of your window net.
So yeah, we played musical chairs.
The wagon was a parts car Saturday.
That was.
I'm just glad I got it loaded up first before everybody started taking shit off of it.
Yeah, a passenger to put some tear offs and give some water.
Yeah, I've only had a passenger at the Fred Lobster, and that was Jesse, and he was mostly telling me how scared he was. I think, but no, I had a John Osborne, John Boy.
Yeah.
He rode with me first time he was ever in a race car over at Highway 19 in our factory stock.
So
he said he loved it, but we almost got in a fight, and I think that other guy in the other car didn't realize that we had two people in the car. You know what I mean? This makes me a 2-on-1 deal on the track.
So my car has the seat and it has the driveline tunnel. It's stock floor pan, stock firewall car, and all the mud gathers between the seat and that. Right, it all comes together, and it's not a specific thing, but it's a perfect. If I put the water bottles there, they don't move out of there. They just happen to ride. It's just like where they like to be. I may actually build a box to stand them up in or something, but because the ends of them do get dirty down there. So you drink, then you get grit in your mouth. But that's here we got them talking to each other now.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
Electric pull off.
I've seen that. Or not even the button gets stuck, but just the way they work, because they pull from the full side, and like they can just get a little flap of wind in there, and once they start to get some slack, you're hosed.
Yeah.
On those.
Yeah.
Got to figure out how to do the window net. Yeah.
Man, some cars you just can't.
They're tough. Yeah.
I hate window nets. I think they're unsafe. You ever been on fire? That's one more thing in my fucking way of getting out of that car.
So when I flipped my A-Mod the week before, a car got upside down on its roof and it caught on fire. So that's all I saw. And they said I got out of there in lightning time, but like
it feels like forever.
It did. But I made sure that I've got my steering wheel out of the way, and I assessed my situation. I was like, this is in the 90s, so window openings were a little bigger on those mods anyway. Yeah. And I'm like, I look at my window net and I'm like, I'm not even messing with that. Passenger side wasn't caved down, and out I went.
Yeah.
You know, and,
I was in a car one time. It wasn't nothing wrong, but I kind of panicked because for whatever reason, they had the kind with the rod with a little hole in it, on the tab. For whatever reason, that tab had gotten bent. Probably when I put it on, and it wedged it on, and I couldn't get out. I remember Larry just fucking trying to rip it out, and I started having a little panic attack. Yeah. I was getting a little claustrophobic in there, trying to get out of this fucking car. Yeah, I offered the carb up to Corey Neal Jr. there, Pooter, and because they was having some carb problems.
Jess says he'll never ride with you again.
That's rude, dude. I'd ride with you. Just because your seatbelt wasn't working in that truck doesn't mean that it wasn't a good time.
Jesse, if you haven't watched the race on coverage yet, at one point the announcer said that he was told that Jesse Mazzell was the best looking driver in the pit. I don't know what man said that.
That sounds like something Dylan would say.
Dylan say that, but anyway.
Yeah. Or Dylan or Jesse. Jesse probably said that.
Maybe.
That sounds either one of them guys. But look, if we ever get a passenger seat put back in the factory stock, we'll let you know, and you can come in there, and me or Jesse can scare the living fuck out of you.
More fun driving. We're getting a lot of comments here.
Yeah, it's fun driving.
They was in my lap. Two laps putting them back, making sure they wasn't under my feet.
Dude, one time at the 600, I had a water bottle in a cup holder, and I had it like riveted to the side, like one of those little plastic cup holders. I was like, "This is the best idea I've ever had," because I don't want the bag and all that stuff. Just let me have a water bottle, because then I can dip my finger in it and like wipe shit out of my eyes or whatever, right? And immediately, like I'm talking, when we're fixing to take the green, I actually broke it all off, and the bottle went under my seat. Well, we're under a red, and I loosened up my belt, so I reach under the seat and I find it, and I'm like, "Fuck! I gotta get a bottle of water." This water was just a skosh under boiling temp. I was like, "Oh!" I'm just like, it was way worse than being thirsty. Right. I was like, "What a mistake!"
Just want to make the passenger scared. Yeah.
Yeah. When I rode with Jesse there, I had to tell him, I was like, "Hey, dude, that wall's a lot closer on my side of the fucking car.
A
lot closer. He's over there scraping it, I use my arm restraint on the left arm instead of winning it. I'm not a fan of the nets. Yeah, dude, I think winning nets are a terrible idea. I mean, it's a shitty design. No matter how they do them, they could fail and trap you in the car, and then you got a fucking high tensile strength deal. So like, I get the mesh ones. At least you can cut through that sucker. I'm skinny. I'll slide through that fucking thing if I got to. Yeah, Robert said it was last year's water. Yeah, it probably was. That's usually how it works. I forget what water I had in there.
Yeah. Luke says around a 632 in the quick change, burned up high gear. We flipped the gears over and ran low gear. Ended up on a 680.
Oh God. Yeah, that's a little much, I think, for that track.
Yeah.
I know they say on a factory you can run up to 700, but I wouldn't. That track races big.
Yeah.
Dude, if you wanna stay her fiance, don't do it.
No. You think she tells you how to drive when you go to town?
Yeah, definitely don't get a radio between the two. Yeah.
680. Yeah, I run a 650, which isn't far off from that, but I have that little LS. It's not.
I think it depends. It depends on the motor you got.
I had my passenger a little worried in front. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Chris would scare the fuck out of somebody too.
Big bus, big gear.
Yeah, Luke's got the big bus gear. If you ain't got no nuts, Luke, if you don't put duals on the back of that car for next year.
Dude, we got Skinny. Skinny just checked in.
Hell yeah, man.
We've been talking about it. We've been talking about next year already, and
yeah, I think next year I'm gonna have a bolt-on front clip, and then I can just replace it.
So, Skinny, you just got here, but Brad chimed in and said Trent told him that the tri-tip was better than winning.
Yeah,
and so that's
so you know.
Just so you know.
And I didn't get to come hang out the other night. I probably would have fell asleep before I got here. That's where I was at. I dropped Jordan off at her car, then I come back. I stopped at Subway. I was like, well, I got to have something to eat. I have nothing at my house and nothing to drink. I'd give Dylan my last Big Red. Give me a big old Dr. Pepper, set it on my TV tray, go to sit on the couch, bump the TV tray. It falls, spills all on the floor. And I'm just like, this is the worst day of my life. I feel terrible.
Oh, we had a was it this year or last year? We had a marriage proposal at 600. So now he's got to find him a race car permanently.
Well. At least you let him drive this one. You must like him. Most guys don't like their son-in-law. You let him drive your race car, your new race car at that. So,
the tunnel ram motor was only an hour from the race car. Yeah. So,
hell yeah. Luke, I still think he needs the duals on the back.
But
dually wheels and what do they call them? Fucking them wheels for like the front of a dually.
The bud wheels on
the front.
Yeah, the cones.
Oh, dude, you just make it a fucking real bus. Make it completely a real bus. I think that's it. Jesse, don't bury him yet. That was the phrase of the weekend, I think, due to Dylan. Like yesterday, randomly Hot Crawl texted me, "Don't bury him yet." You remember that? It's like a fucking meme deal now, but it was Danny McBride. And he's walking up to a funeral. He's got a radio on it from Eastbound and Down or whatever. And it was like and every time Dylan got off of a radio, he played that fucking Candlebox song and he yelling that. So yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah,
he's okay for a white boy.
The Robert Super Singles he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, not the Super Single, but yeah, the dual.
Dual. Can't have that wider rim.
Yeah, Alcolas. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got on my dualies.
Yeah, aluminum.
But dually wheels.
Yeah, we always call them bud wheels out there. But anyway,
I don't know what we call them.
Yeah,
I know you can get the chrome simulator hubcaps for them to make your
Since Skinny's back on here now, but man, we'll say it. Everybody just bragged the whole weekend.
Oh yeah, about he was keeping everybody fed for sure. Anybody that wanted some. I'll Skinny kept everybody fed. I'd like to also give a shout out to the Hey Guys Barbecue dude.
Yeah.
He come and hung out with us a couple times there and stuff, and I went over to get sweet tea. I was plenty full of food, but I went over to make sure he had some sweet tea. So I went over and got some. When I wrecked, he was the first guy at my window making sure I was good. And I don't know if I ever got to really thank him for that, making sure I was good. So,
and by all means, we don't
appreciate it
to take away from anyone.
There's plenty of people. There was people from our group still going over there and getting barbecue from him. But I just wanted to give a shout out to him for coming to check on me, man, because it was a bad wreck, and I appreciate him caring.
Ken says, Brad, go ahead and schedule another enduro for New Year's Day.
Maybe like a couple days later because we get drunk on New Year's Eve.
Right. Ken, Billy was saying earlier, I don't know if you were on here, that he told you I had a motor over in the van.
Yeah.
And Saturday I wasn't using it. Hell, you'd have been welcome to it.
I got to bring him back 2 spares. He loaned me 2 of his spares. When I swapped cars, I had no spares.
Oh. And
I was talking to him, and I was like, hey, what hole pattern do you have? So I got to bring those back to him at some point.
So, yeah. Everybody's all in. Christina said tri-tip from Skinny was the bomb there.
Hell yeah. Colton missed it. They were busy having a baby.
Right.
He could have made it. I think she had it like Thursday or Wednesday night or something. He could have made it. He was just worried about getting an ass chewing. So if you want to comment on reply to Colton's comment, call him a pussy.
Yeah.
Tell him he's a pussy wolf or something. He's scared.
Christopher White be the Hangover Nationals.
Yeah, that's really not bad. That's not bad.
Right.
You could do it. Just do like a 200 lap race. Hell yeah.
Stacy, she's thanking Colton for using the flat top.
Yeah.
She got up and made breakfast most mornings.
Mom made lunch on it one day.
Your mom.
She said we couldn't get it to work, and everybody said it was good. Finally figured out that it was just out of gas. Yeah. But yeah, Ken's a pole dancer. I wish I had that picture. I have it, but we don't have it pulled up. Poor Ken was test driving his enduro car a few days before the race, and the brakes and the steering weren't working as good as the motor, and dead center of the pole. I hate to call you out like that, but damn, dude, that was. It looks way worse than he said it was, you know. But
yeah, I saw those pictures.
I'm glad he didn't do that at the race. Thanks, Christina. Thanks for all your support.
Yeah, thanks for everything. They gathered up all them tri-tip and all that stuff for us.
Yeah, well, I think Chris White brought some tri-tips too, Chris there was so many people helping support, making sure we all was fed and had a good time. We had Backroads Dance Hall there in Palestine, all the booze.
Yep.
For the whole weekend.
People didn't realize when the band was going. We just kept telling them all that alcohol right there is free.
Yeah, well, we would come over like, please get a free.
Yeah.
And had 4 full coolers of those like big casket coolers the size of this table, full of beer, and then we got the quarter of 2 of those. Like it was like pretty much half of one of those, I guess, left. So that's good, I guess. And it was all Bud Light and like what are those Yulings or Yinglings or whatever the fuck they're called. And nobody down here drinks those that I know of. Carl said that people like them, but I don't know.
Ken, I get that. And the thing is, we both run LSs, but motors never swap from one car to another. No matter what you think, it's going to be easy. There's always some...
I was bullshit with it. I said, just let me put my motor in your car and let's go race. And he was like, well, he's like listing off everything we need. And I'm just kidding. I don't want to work that hard, dude. I already got something else figured out that's going to be easy.
Yeah.
You can't oversleep on Thursday, man.
No.
I did, but we were trying to get up there to the track, but boy, Wednesday night we got a little fucked up.
Can you imagine this, a 24-hour enduro?
There'd be 2 cars left. The way our ship runs around here.
Yeah, and how about that band?
Jackson James, man, they killed that. There was a badass bass player, which he's a wanderer. Every show I've been to, he's a wanderer.
Well, he's our sound man also.
Oh, okay.
So he goes out there and listens and makes adjustments from time to time.
But we hopped up on Shannon, in Colton's car there or whatever. That was pretty good. I've seen multiple pictures and videos of that from the weekend.
And I don't know if Brad's still on or not, but Brad had him in a good spot. But what happened was we had all our food down in our pit, and nobody wanted to break away from the food and go down there and listen to the band. And most people don't know them, don't know, how good they are, how fun they are. And so then I go talk to him, and I'm just like, hey, not Brad. I don't know. Brad's running a million miles
I feel like I barely seen Brad.
So
he was busy.
I asked the guy that drove I said, hey, are you driving this? And yeah. And I asked Jackson, I'm like, hey, can we just move you down to the pits?
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that Brad.
It wasn't far, but it was just enough.
Yeah. And I'm just like hoping that Brad's going to be okay with this, that I'm making a sound decision and he doesn't have some really set in stone reason for having them right there,
Yeah.
And because I did it without asking. But anyway, we brought them around. They played while the truck was moving. There's video of that, which was funny. And
then, I was over there doing something, and all of a sudden I hear music getting louder, and I just see a truck pull up, and I was like, fuck, all right, that's cool.
Right. I knew none of us were leaving, so I just tried to leave a lane down the other for people to get past behind them. And
then I just got Luke and John Boy to bring all the coolers down there. And I was like, fuck, go back and get them.
Right, drag them back.
Don't bury him yet. Hell yeah. Yeah.
steering hung on the control arm. Must have been when he ate the pole.
He was telling me it was something to do with like a mix between like the big body and I think it's a big body frame. He put some metric stuff or something in it. Some part lengths there, and it didn't work out the way he was hoping.
So Walmart does carry them.
Kill a cow.
They're not as big and nice as most of those were. Christina got those from Sam's Club. She had to order them, but they come in bags, and they were nice big tri-tip.
I don't know why. I feel like they're probably common at HEB.
Probably.
We don't have HEB around here, unfortunately, but I feel like that's an HEB thing. They always had cool stuff like that.
They started on, like, when I talk about West Coast, they started on Santa Maria, which is right on the beach. It become a thing over there. And I need to look, because I got asked a million times, where does the tri-tip come from? The cow is my best answer. I don't know where on the cow it comes from.
Yeah.
But
it comes from the fucking grocery store.
Yeah.
Go ask for it.
So Ken says the band was great, and they did.
I feel like I barely get to listen to them. I didn't mean I was there, but I didn't get a break from talking to people, I don't think.
Yeah. We got tons of
Eric said it was all Bud Light.
Wasn't surprised. I'm not complaining though. Yeah, it was free stuff.
Well, there was one cooler that was mostly Bud Light, but we had also been drinking on it for like 2 days. So it was
all the good stuff.
I'd got and cleaned out the Lone Stars, and then we was cleaning out a bunch of the other of it. But
Christina's talking about the tri-tip Sam's Club. Best Buy is at Sam's Club around here. Jackson James Band's definitely great. Chris is one of the coolest things he's seen in a while.
Well, we everything's bigger in Texas. Skinny.
Right.
Skinny gained 400 pounds when he came over here.
Yeah. And like I say, I hadn't talked to Brad. We've all kind of become friends since he's moved up here, and hopefully that was okay with everything.
Yeah.
I had good intentions in my mind.
I know Brad well enough that he didn't come bitch at you, so it was okay.
Right. Yeah. So
let's see. What does it say?
We need a 600 parts Facebook page.
So I have a group it says East Texas Endurance Racing page or something like that. It's a group, and you're probably in it, Luke.
Yeah.
But that's been growing a lot here lately. But look in there, and if somebody's trying to sell parts, I usually say yes.
Yeah, and maybe make an announcement next year, day of, once the race is started. If anybody needs, like, you can get on there and post what you need, and if anybody's there and has it,
and we need a certain deal on there for that. And my buddy with Dustin with Comprehensive was supposed to be there Friday, and he's got 2 different businesses, and one everybody called in sick, and he couldn't make it till late Saturday, unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw him pulling out, and I didn't get a chance to go talk to him.
I felt bad. I felt bad for him and for everybody else there, but there was some other guys there that had a bunch of stuff. I got rid of a bunch of stuff, so it was it was a lot. Yeah, sorry about that, Luke. But when you and John Boy are the 2 youngest guys there, that's kind of the shit jobs you end up with.
Right,
moving the coolers.
Logan was there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But they
I think they're younger than Logan.
Okay. But anyway, Brookshire's has started carrying them. They're getting more well known. The tri-tip.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever an inline 6 or a diesel in the 600?
I'm sure there's been an inline 6. I was kind of curious about that because when I go to Australia, they have the Barra engines. That's the inline 6 in the car I run over there. And those guys are always asking me, anybody over there run those? I'm like, no, but those with a cam and a tune are pretty peppy. I mean, I would compare them to our factory stock motors. So I don't know. And they're over there. They're like our LSs. They're the junkyard motor. So it kind of made me curious would that be worth it, at least for like if I had a car that I would rent out or something. Put something like that in there.
Yeah, be like 2,500 laps. That'd be insane.
Yeah.
You know, make some driver changes. Obviously, that'd be a wild ass race.
Yeah.
Billy's mom gave me a couple beers. One I think I never heard of.
Well,
But free beer tastes great.
yeah. Well, you know, that's the funny thing is some guys in our group were bitching about, well, you don't have my brand in there and all this. And I'm like, you drink natural light, motherfucker. Just
Yeah.
get a beer.
Yeah.
If you're worried about somebody seeing you drink a different brand, then put a koozie on it. You know.
We kind of covered this early on, but I got 22nd the first night. Pitted 4 times. Billy,
I totaled my car out early on, and then the next night I did 103 laps before the water pump went out in a Chris White's car.
The next night I actually did a few more laps than I thought. I was in the range of 50. I thought I only made about 30 before it flung that belt, but
the first 50 is always the hardest to do.
And but yeah, we won the party.
Party champs.
Since you asked again,
10 years running.
Skinny and I were talking, and he said it just couldn't get any better, and I said that it can by us finishing better. But as far as the pit, the ambiance of the whole race, the whole thing,
everybody was in a pretty good mood, regardless of everything that was happening.
If we can get Jackson James back, which I'm sure we can, I do want to somehow get it over to the fan side more. I wish, because I think fans would enjoy coming down. And like I said, I commented on a couple videos just asking people if they didn't know it was going on. And one comment I got in particular was, we heard the music, we just didn't realize it was free, because they were camped. They were camped on the spectator side.
You know, I think if we do something like that next year again, Brad still wants to do something like that, and we work that out. I think printing out just a little flyer and have somebody handing it out as people are coming through the gate on both ends.
Yep.
Pit and the stands. I think that would be helpful for that. I mean, there was still plenty of people hanging around. I see a lot of people on the back side of the trailer too.
Yeah.
But it was a good time, man. Yeah. There was a bunch of people there, and as big as that our area was, there was probably more people there than we even realized.
Skinny says that, or Luke says that food was good, and you just, anytime you got Skinny in the pits, you're going to have good food.
You're not going hungry for sure.
Been that way for years for me.
And Stacy and my mom, they both cooked too, and it was a good group effort on keeping everybody fed. Because when you got the mamas involved, you know, you're gonna eat.
You wake up to breakfast burritos and nachos and
we had sausages and everything, man. It was good.
Luke, y'all see that yellow bumper laying in turn 4 for a while? That must have been after my time.
Dude, I can't stay on the track long enough for that. That pit party was cool.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope we get to do it again.
Yeah.
And I hope it's bigger and better. Now, and one thing I will say, we didn't have a big mess there the next morning, because I was up pretty early, and I walked around there and maybe grabbed a couple things here and there. But everybody did a good job at picking up after themselves and all that. And I was, Stacy was probably mad because I don't take the trash out much here at the house. But when the barrels got full, they left extra bags in them. So I was tying them off and putting new bags in the barrels so people could continue to throw trash in the barrels.
I'd stop KR, which he's like the promoter out there, and I said, "Hey man, can we get some extra trash cans?" And he was like, "Well, we'll just get them to leave some extra bags with you and stuff." So that helped out. So,
Brandon, I'm glad
you had a good time, man, especially coming all the way from California. The 600 is I feel like a special group of people, and talked about that with several other people. It's like, we're good. Like when I talked to Chris David, because we went and picked up all the beer, and I wasn't thinking about it being glass bottles, and racetrack glass, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, if you find broke glass, I will come pick it up personally.
I think,
and he was like, we're trust these people, just make sure it's picked up.
When I first got this place and was just looking at options, because they serve food in there and stuff, about serving beer out of there, I had a whole different kind of retirement goal in mind. it's actually illegal to have bottles in public events with grandstands.
Okay.
So it's a law thing but like that.
We didn't have grandstands.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to say with that, maybe there's a gray area because we didn't hand them out till after the racing was over that people would spectate from.
Well, I'm a
whatever.
big Lone Star beer guy, obviously.
Yeah.
So I want to try to really get in with them and see if I can get a bunch from them, because it's it used to be called the Lone Star. That we're in the Lone Star State.
Yeah.
It's a good beer. It's my favorite beer. So I'd love to have them involved in some way on that too.
So, and Brad, he says there's going to be a huge effort bringing more awareness to the pit party, man. We have a list going for improvements
and that's one thing I like about Brad. He's always thinking about ways to make things better.
Right.
And this race is every year it's little things that change. He don't make it like last year we had a huge change, and that was out of necessity. We had to. Guess what? Didn't like it. We're going back to the old format. We're at a different track. There's some little things changing, and he's always trying to make it better. He's good at listening to feedback.
And that's the thing. I'd heard from somebody that they overturned night one's win, and this and that, and I was just like, if he did it, he has good evidence.
I had somebody bitch about it. I was like, he didn't take their word for it.
Yeah. I'm like, if that win was overturned, there was good evidence of it somewhere. And that was, and then I watched the race on deal. We watched it the night after we got home.
I seen Brad DQ his nephew one time.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been Brad's car he was driving. and it's like, that's just the way it is. He's going to be as fair as possible.
But
whether you like it or not.
This year was awesome. I think it was better than last year. I think it was awesome. Yeah, there's going to be new things at a new track and this and that, but man, by all means, I wasn't disappointed one bit.
I had a blast. I got a torn up race car. I didn't cry about it. I had a blast the whole time. We kept partying.
Yeah,
we kept having a good time. The next day, what do? The whole group of us are back together.
Yeah,
we're getting cars ready for the next night.
And
that's the way it goes. And if I would have had to drive all the way back to fucking Pert, Texas to pick up another car, that's what I was going to do. Yeah. But luckily, Chris was like, "Hey, I got this other one."
And that's Friday night. We were talking.
I wouldn't miss.
And everybody was wanting to be helpful, right? And they're like, "What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about that?" And I was like, "We're going to forget about it right now, and we're going to party, and we'll just worry about this shit in the morning. We're going to have a really good time.
That's
tonight.
A tomorrow problem.
Yep, we're going to have a really good time tonight, and I'll wake up in the morning and we'll figure out what the hell we're going to do." Yeah, and that was that, and that's what we did.
We're going to get all this done hungover tomorrow.
Yeah. Exactly. Done it before. I'll do it again. Skinny's Life on some Jim Beam honey is my new ringtone.
We were trying to take that damn group photo, and he just kept laughing. He just kept.
We all have our imitation of it out there in California because that's it.
It's as big as he is.
Yeah, you can hear him a mile away, and it's Skinny.
Oh yeah, it's good.
He's talking about that bumper. I think it caused red. I saw him pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Brandon, I think
I always think it's like that on Saturday nights.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
weekly racing or anything.
I don't think Rocket races a whole bunch on Fridays. They're not a Friday night track. No. And so, whenever you switch something up and add a day, just unfortunately, a lot of people don't even realize.
It's not like they were empty. Though.
No,
there was a lot of. When I pulled out on the track, I was like, man, there's a lot of people in the stands.
Yeah.
It obviously wasn't packed, but Saturday it was definitely looked like a full house up there. And the pit stands was definitely full. I went up there and sat for a minute. It was definitely full.
Old formats, definitely. I agree.
I agree. And it's good that we had a year to say, hey, is this going to be better? And like, no. Well, we're going back. Yeah. And that's a good thing to do. I'm all for trying stuff.
And there was variables down at 105 with it being smaller and
I like 105, man. Joey and them that runs that track. It's a fun place to go and a lot of good group of people.
I'd love to go
race some weekly stuff down there. I've
run my Texas stock, or I've
run the Texas Grand a few times down there, and it's a good place to race. It's too too compact for that
Yeah.
race. I think.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's a spectacle when you got that many cars on the track.
Yeah, it is.
And people, because we've had 200 cars on the track at Devil's Bowl, and people are like, "Oh, there's only 100 cars here." Where 100 cars at Rocket's a lot of cars, man. It's a lot. You're in traffic the whole time.
Man, every once in a while I'd get a little piece of straightaway, and it's fun to let it air out, and then you just catch right back up to,
Yeah. The only time I did that Friday was right before I wrecked.
Well, that I got it a couple times, but one time was right before I wrecked too, when I was trying to race with the number one car. And like I said, I was just trying to have fun at that point because I'm just thinking we were kind of not around anybody, and I knew that I could not wreck him, and he wasn't going to wreck me, and just trying to like pick up the pace and do some racing right there with 10 to go, and then I look up and there's a parking lot down there, So, Skinny laughs a lot, and it's contagious when he does. He makes it fun for everybody. Brad. That's 100%.
Great job, Brad. Again, we're not just saying that because we like you.
Yeah. 4 days later, and my engine's still overheating.
Don't blame my fan spacer for that. It was already hot.
Yeah, the Harley dealership in Paris didn't even know about the race. That's
well, that's because they was busy riding motorcycles.
But yeah, and there's just a lot to doing that much promotion, and Brad's damn sure not lazy about it. It just
or Rocket or Race on it. They were promoting the hell out of it.
It just
that's just how it goes. Back in the day that you put it in the paper and the radio and stuff. I don't know anybody that buys the paper, and everybody I know listens to Pandora or Spotify.
So my buddy Billy Simpkins, his granddad Spud, was promoted Bakersfield's promoted several tracks out there. He had this wagon that looked like Ghostbusters, but long before Ghostbusters wagon was out there. And he had the big signs on it, and it had this huge bullhorn on the top. And he would drive around, and if there was a crowd of people standing somewhere, he was on that bullhorn telling them about the races.
Yeah. And I got like Blues Brothers.
Yeah, Billy has pictures of that deal going on. All right, I got to quit talking. We got how's Jesse feeling?
He's sore. Me and him was talking about that earlier. Today's been a little better, but he's feeling a little better.
And I don't remember what. Oh, the motor overheating probably still.
Yeah.
Landry, that thing is
front clip. I'm on. I think it's all in front of the cross member, so I'm gonna just cut it all off and fucking deal with it. I was gonna cut all that off anyway.
Brad, I heard we come right back and watched it on Race on Sunday night.
And that's a stand-up thing to do. Yeah. A lot of promoters wouldn't do that, and I know I've seen a few people bitching about it on Facebook, but a lot of times when you see people bitching about stuff, they either don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or they weren't even there.
Yeah, or
they've seen pictures and they're like, "That was awful." Well, yeah, it was for what fucking 10 minutes of the night. It got real dusty. They stopped the race. They fixed it.
Yeah,
and then they ran the next half of the race with no problems. And the next night was flawless. The track was in great shape, man.
You just have to offer some grace sometimes, okay? You just have to, in everything. A guy will pass you from the other side on the road with his bright lights on, and you're thinking, oh, that son of a bitch, And then 3 cars later, you'll do it to somebody else and think, shit, you know.
But if you sold grace, you'd go broke because people don't think.
Yeah,
that's the problem. People are assholes.
That track was real bad.
Like myself.
That track was real bad when it was dusty. I was thinking every lap, I need to pull off. I didn't.
When you're dealing with it, it seems like it's like that forever.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's not that long because if you think Brad and the track officials weren't looking at the same thing, going, they're trying to make a plan, but they're trying to keep the show going too.
Yeah, exactly.
To stop an entire race and say everybody pull off the fucking track because we're fixing this, that's a huge decision to make.
Right.
and a lot of people don't understand that.
And I was just like, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt. And the next thing we have a red. Pretty soon pull the infield. We're going to work this track, and then
And then what was the next night? I didn't see dust like that at all.
Yeah.
It was a normal.
They moved tires out a little bit. They saw what the problem was. They corrected it. Everything that was Saturday. That was a moot point. They call it. It wasn't even in the radar anymore.
A lot of it is just that type of race. There's more shit going on in the infield than usual. So that dust gets up there, and then you're getting it thrown on the track. And it snowballs until it's a big deal. Because it's not just the cars that are stirring up the dust. Every time the push truck pulls off the track, he's stirring up dust.
Yeah,
and he's busy. And then the more dusty it gets, then the busier he is. And it's like it snowballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it was. It just snowballed into a bunch of dust. And if it would have been a regular night, it wouldn't even been that dusty.
Yeah. Yeah. And
the track was pulling point too. It's not like it was a dusty track. It was a dusty everywhere else.
Yeah. And like Trent come over and talked to me while we were down there. Brad didn't make it over. And I was talking to Trent after I'd talked to Mike Skelly, and he told me he's out of tear-offs. I still had tear-offs because when it was dusty, I pulled them all on purpose because that was just one more thing for me to have to look through.
I had tear-offs because I only used 2 before I wrecked my car.
Yeah. And I told Trent, I said, hey, maybe tell your dad to let one guy down here with some tear-offs because nobody had expected the track to be heavy again. And neither here nor there. When we went back, it wasn't sloppy. It wasn't picking up a bunch of, they weren't moving a lot of dirt. And I had tear-offs, but I was thinking, man, there's some guys that aren't, and then maybe that's dangerous. It all worked out.
Yeah.
It all just worked out. It was fine.
Well,
it's
good about a good understanding with with other people that's working at the track.
Was there any kind of donut badge for sale?
A donut badge? The fuck you talking about, Luke? Donut badge?
Who doing donuts?
Was you doing donuts? I wasn't.
Maybe Luke. I thought I might have saw Luke spin out one time, but I didn't think he spun out a whole bunch.
I don't know.
Oh shit, we got a whole bunch of comments. Brad Dixon, much respect to you as a promoter, 100%. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
I had people ask Sefco gas station if that's what we were doing on
Saturday, Sunday. Oh yeah. I guess after we left, we stopped. Yeah.
And we stopped some random place on the way home, and the guy he said that he used to do. I think he was from California too, and he used to do some dirt track racing. And the only dirt track race he had been to out here was a Fred Lobster.
What the hell? and it's funny. I talked to people that were within 30 minutes of that place. You know, what in the hell is a Fred Lobster?
And so it was.
That's at the end of the month, I think.
And then Friday it was. Yeah. It's just going to happen that way.
I've been that guy that started the race on the pole a couple times, and you just catch up to them, but it all evens itself out at the end. Like you said, like before we started, we were talking. If you start at the back, and in 300 laps you can't catch the leader,
right?
Then you weren't going to fucking win it anyway.
Yeah. Because I'm not. And maybe it was just the way we were talking about this earlier. Maybe it was just the way they were announcing it. Used to, I think it was done on time. I don't. And if Brad's still watching, he can comment if it's done on time or by actual start position. But I mean, they do the draw, so there's just no better. I mean,
don't know where you're at. I think one night
you just line up and they draw. They put part of the field to the back. It's just a random thing.
I was in the exact same spot both nights when we first went on the track, and it got drawn different. The first night I ended up starting towards the back. Second night I ended up starting towards the front.
So, I think I started on the very back row the first night. Because they started the row behind me got to start up front, and so we pulled around. But if you can't get there in 300 laps, Right, like what are you going to go tell your guy? You've run 300 laps, and you're going to be like, "Man, if I just had another 20 laps,
Yeah.
like,
One more lap. One
Yeah.
more lap. I could have had him.
Yeah.
Get
Um,
fucked, dude.
that so they made the right one. I'm assuming he's talking about the right qual.
Yeah.
I burned a donut out there Saturday.
Oh.
I liked it. I know they must have had a little problem because they called.
Well, I think from what I understand, and Brad might clarify this, is I think the guy that there was an issue had to dive in the infield and went around the
Right.
transponder loop.
Right.
But I will say that I've had multiple people that I've talked to in the last 2 days say they liked it just for the broadcast, because in the broadcast could say, "Oh, hey, here's the battle for the lead right here,"
Yeah.
and then the camera's following it,
Yep.
and usually it's kind of you're just figuring it out.
Okay.
So
and Friday night during the dust storm, I don't know how anybody would have scored.
yeah,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of big positives.
You know,
to the transponders.
and maybe in the future, and this is something to be talked about, but maybe they put a K rail there that shows you that's still you could turn under, but if you turn under that, you're not getting scored. You know that. You know they put a little something there, not all the way across, because you want to be a.
That's on you at this point.
Yeah. So you get on the outside of that to get scored. If you go on the inside of it, that's not your lap.
Another thing I was looking at, I seen somebody had made a 12-second lap on my race pass, and I was like, there's no fucking way anybody out there made a 12, especially at lap like 200 and something, because it done got slick. And from what I understand is he had stopped on the line and backed up. And I think it needs to be a rule of going forward and not backing up, because then I think he might have, I don't know if he gained a lap or what. It didn't matter in the end, but that was a little trick deal there. You know what I mean? That could be a problem.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, hell, it's I love the transponders.
So Brandon, you're talking with us a lot. Do you know Jerry Bartlett and God, the guys I'm so bad at names. I've had a little problem here a while back, but run the 17 cars. They run some hobby stocks and some mods and all that. They're all up there. Maybe 7 Cardozas. I don't know if they race it much anymore, but I know all them guys from up. We went up and run a B mod series up there one time, and a lot of them would come down to Bakersfield Speedway, where I'm from, and run that. And hell, I may know you, but I'm not recognizing it right now because you just have a fish on your thing.
That's that fish from Finding Nemo.
Dory. Yeah,
which is about how my brain works most of the time. Maybe that's why he put that as his.
I was about middle Saturday, and I was on the pole.
Yeah.
Dakota says he's not a fan of the transponders.
Well, I like the transponders because I feel like it takes a lot of the questions out of it. You know, well, what are they doing? They're, you know what I mean? Because we've seen a few things that was questionable and done by some other teams.
And not only that, I'm not going to mention any names, but there was somebody that we knew one time, and Stacy looked over and seen they had a missed box. And when you were scoring on the old system, if you missed a box, you were out.
Yeah, you're done.
And so like that was a rough situation, you know.
Yeah.
And like that kind of takes all that away. And I'm sure they learned a lot from this time, and I'm sure it'll get fixed.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a huge change, and I think it's just going to get better from here.
A lot of them do around here too. I think it's just tough on these enduros.
I only know one track around here that don't use them. That's Highway 19.
Yeah. Jerry controversy. But Jerry's a super good guy. So yeah, we almost know each other.
See, I thought the same thing, and then you could, as just as a backup. But yeah, I don't know. I like the transponders. Just for the fact that you can follow along with the race a little better on my race pass and stuff.
I
Yeah,
like
the lap count on the board, and it wasn't always up there either.
right.
I noticed that, and which Brad had told me that he probably wasn't going to put it up there the whole time, and I like that, but it does kind of help build some anticipation,
Right. Yeah. So after I got up there and I understand Ken as a driver, don't think it like, but as a fan, when I went up there,
if you're watching
after I was out and went up there and watched, and Martin was there at that, and even though they're 2 digits, who's like, they had Trent as a 41, and so I'm telling Martin, I'm like, well, that's this car. And it says 41, but I guarantee it says this 411 right here.
Well, that was some people were saying that you were on the board at the beginning. It said 15. I was like, I don't think that was me because I think it was the one. I was in that gray car.
Yeah.
Owen, he said he likes drinking beer and enjoying life. Well, I do too, Owen. And next weekend I'll be down there in your house, and we will be. Hopefully, me and you can link up and we'll drink some beer and enjoy some life.
So.
We're going to talk about jumping a fucking Crown Vic.
Hell yeah.
Down there.
I'd like to get the track on Race Monitor.
See, there's barely anybody uses the Race Monitor around here. We use My Race Pass. It's a different app.
It's My Race Pass that it's on.
Yeah.
And look, there's the guys from Journey. What's up, Bill?
The Journey, I seen it was Chase, man. What's up, dude? Glad to hop on. If you are on here, make sure you follow the Journey HQ.
Yeah,
they're local guys that do a lot of cool stuff with LSs and square bodies, and
I follow them on YouTube and TikTok. I see more of their TikToks.
If you're into cool cars and cool trucks or whatever, that's definitely the guys to follow.
They got like I'm going to exaggerate here, but they got like 105 square bodies down there right now. That's one of the videos I seen. They were like, look at this square body. Yes. Look at this. Well, Colonel Mustard.
Me and Donna's and Raz were in town one day, and they'd said something. I was like, we thought about buying one of those to drive around while we're here. And I was like, well, if you like those trucks, we're driving over here. We're driving over here to their shop. So we hung out there for a little bit, and they give them the full tour,
Yeah.
So
Brandon's I guarantee he's talking about Jerry Bartlett right there. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I like the transponders, but our local dirt track, we had transponders confirmed in the right location, with transponder not seeming to match photo finish photos in a local class race. It was weird.
I've seen that a bunch because they'll have the transponder, like that's why they say that mount them on the rear end or whatever, but it'll be at like the pole before the finish. And I don't agree with that either. I think it should be right across the finish line. Chase, it is Chase.
Chase.
I don't know why you capitalized the H.
Chase
figured it out.
If you, I do that. I got a lazy finger. It does it all the time. On H's only. If you don't like them, why? There's no guessing, no questions about when you're lap, no cheat. Yeah. So they have 11 square bodies. So that's about them having 105.
And that's just the square bodies.
And
they got other shit there too.
And I don't know why the one they call Colonel Mustard, that just sticks in my mind.
Yeah,
because it's yellow.
I went over there and they had a Blazer, man. And I like that Blazer. You don't see a lot of those no more. And it wasn't a 4-wheel drive one. I was like, I like this one.
You got to take me down there sometime. We'll go down there and meet.
Yeah, we need it. When we got nothing going on, we'll ride down there.
I have. I didn't do it for real long, but I worked for Ironworks Speed and Custom, which is a pretty badass hot rod shop in Bakersfield.
Well, they ended up with a bunch of badass metalwork stuff in there, and I know Russell's got to mess with some of it and stuff. And
I'm pretty decent on power hammer and shrink and all. I can do it. No. I can shrink on a power hammer, but I don't know how. I don't know why it works. It defies all logic that it just.
You figured it out, but you don't know why.
Yeah, I can do it. And I can get results from it.
Yeah.
But still, in the back of my mind, I don't understand how we're hammering down on something and it isn't just splattering it out. But I've done some pretty badass stuff with wheel tubs.
I know that 35 like Chevy you did was bad. The bomb.
But anyway, I'd like to go down there and just. I don't know. I guess it'd probably be in their way for 30 minutes or an hour or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I ended up getting race pass, so now I can follow. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people around here use my race pass. Randomly, it would be like that. Where you said earlier, I forget the other app.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to Solo 275. I'm going to support it. I need to get their trophy done. They like to have it early. They'd probably like me to bring it up to this race.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, do it earlier than you did last year.
To take it to them the day of the race.
Yeah. But I mean, we all plan on going. I'm still saving a bunch of money trying to get back to Australia. So I don't really know what my plan is for next year, but that's we plan on being there. I just know I'm not registering early.
Jimbo says he'll be there. When does registration for the SuperTex open?
I don't know. I'm sure you'll just keep an eye on the page. So
yeah, I forgot to stretch the extension cord from it. It lights up. I made a YouTube video. That was one of my just kind of a short how-to when I was doing a little more of my work stuff, work oriented, and I just made it as a.
It's budget cuts, man. Light bill's already high enough.
Yeah, right.
Light bill's already high enough. So when we budget cuts, we'd catch a lightning bug, throw it in there.
Come on, we put you all to work. There's times I think about it. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, maybe
just shut the door down on this son of a bitch right here and go back to work for somebody else.
It's like, I don't want to work for nobody.
Me neither. That's a problem.
I'm going to the beach next week.
Can we discuss to run different classes? I run an old Dirt Legends car. I enjoy that my 2010 car has legitimately run 1350 at a regional big show last year. Can we discuss other classes you guys recommend that similar things are possible and why?
Well, I'll say this about race car budget. It's going to cost is every dime you got, no matter what class you're in. I don't care if you're running a 4-cylinder, a Crown Vic, or a super late model or outlaw fucking sprint car. Every dime you got is going to go into it. So whatever your budget is, if you can make a winning car with that budget, go with that class.
Yeah.
And that's that. I mean, truly, if you're wanting to win, if you want to fucking race a bunch and just have fun, if you're not worried about winning so much, fucking run the 4-cylinders and the Crown Vics and the pure stocks and bombers or whatever. But it's gonna all cost you a bunch, man. It just depends on how much you have to spend.
When I started racing cars, I went to an old man that was we'd raced 3-wheelers. He had 11 boys, and they all raced flat track motorcycles at one, and he claimed that one was a milkman's or something. But he was a race guy, very knowledgeable. I liked going to him, and I was young, and he was in his 70s then. And I asked him about building a race car, and he said, just figure out what class you can afford and build it, because he said the fast ones are just as hard to drive as the slow ones, or slow ones are just as hard as the fast ones. He said you're going to have to learn to drive, and but yeah, I mean, at this point, sometimes you get a track like Highway 19, and I don't mean to talk down about anybody that drives there or races there, but I think Highway 19 is more affordable to run like a factory stock at. You can be competitive with a little less car.
Absolutely. Well, like even my 199 car.
Yeah.
I'm down 50 to 80 horsepower on that car running that old ass crate in it.
Yeah.
And I can be competitive. I haven't lost a heat race there.
Right.
If I go somewhere else, I might have to run a B main. I can win the B main, but I'm still struggling to make it to the feature.
Right.
I can get top 10 in a feature, but it's going to be, I might have over fucking do it. It's going to be like a win for me.
I tried to drive it, and of course we had handling issues because our cars don't handle the same. But but even after I got that deal going in that point series, like we were a big underdog with it, and you're very competitive at Highway 19. So there's some of that goes on too. What might be affordable at one track isn't going to be an affordable.
Yeah, it's not so much what you race; it's where you race.
I raced the Texas Stock Division at Highway 19 with my enduro car. I got one win. Our dominant guy, what's his name? Tracy wasn't there, and I pulled off a win. But what I liked about that is you'll find somebody to race with. Me and the Aces car, we do a lot of racing together.
Larry
Dean. You'll find somebody to race with there. And my enduro car is a pretty cheap car. I bought the roller back for $500. It's got a $500, about an $800.
Since
LS
I've known you, you've
in it.
spent more money on sheet metal than anything else on the car.
Yeah, I try and make it nice before the 600, but yeah, that thing's a very budget friendly car in reality.
To sum that up, it's race what you can afford. If you want to win, and you have a low budget, maybe go with a lower class. If you want to be if you just want to be half-ass competitive and have fun, then yeah, you can move up a class and but don't go broke doing this. Keep in mind it's a hobby, and I'm a dumbass, and I've took out a loan to go late model racing. And I've spent money I didn't need to spend it for it, things like that. But and that was me doing it on a budget. That was me never buying a new tire.
I know somebody that lost the house.
Yeah. So don't overdo it, especially because that takes a lot of fun out of it. When you're spending every dime you got, it takes the fun out of it. So make sure it's within your budget, and make sure you're still having fun. If you're not having fun, drop down a little bit. I like the Crown Vic class that's coming up because there are a bunch of them. I've got to drive a few of them, and they're a blast. Houston Motorsports Park, our buddy Owen that's been on here, he runs that track, and he's got rental cars that are Crown Vics. It's like if you're thinking about getting into a class, go down there, rent a car, see if you like it, see if that's for you. Then you can say, all right, now I'm going to build one.
Yeah. I would really like to see, they used to do it way back in the day out there. I probably did it out here. I'd like to see the whole car claims come back at a decent level, decent money for the car, so the guy that's getting the car claimed isn't taking it. But I'd like to be able to see a guy come right down out of the stands that doesn't have a bender, know how to put a cage kit together and do that sort of thing. I'd like to see him be able to just get a car.
I think Crown Vic class would be perfect for that. But it just had to be for the right money.
Yeah.
Because it would suck to fucking build a car and then somebody claim it. Yep. And then you don't have the money to put a new one back together.
And we've talked about this before, is at horse races, which I'm very familiar with, they're claiming races at different prices, and you can enter them or you can not, right? You can go, you can get in there and try and steal a win with a better horse and hope nobody claims it, or you just pass that one by. You go, no.
A lot like the 600, you win both nights, you lose your car, and that keeps you from overspending.
Bless the poor soul that would buy mine if I ever did it.
Oh gosh, I've had some people ask me about that. Like, they can have it. That car's like 15 years old.
Just put it and send it. That's it. I love the 600 just for that.
You can really go out. Well, I mean, you look at that gray car I was driving at Chris's, and people was like, I didn't think that car was going to be that fast. He told me, he was like, I paid $200 for this car, and I think he got like $500 in the motor. Just fucking Robert. He finished in the money, $500 in the motor. That car was free. It was free to the guy that gave it to him.
Yeah.
And Robert got it, and then we just started putting good shit on it. That's what work within your budget.
Yep. I don't remember what we were talking about that right then, but last minute, I probably found a small block, but we were fixing to put a big block in one of ours.
We put a big block in one for the 600 one year. It burns more oil than gas. I don't recommend it. What's the best class for learning? Luke, for you, I would recommend just getting a factory stock and just start from there. Yeah. Because as much as fun as the 4-cylinders look, not everywhere runs them, for one, and also after driving them, you don't learn much as far as setup and driving from there.
The transition from front wheel drive to
it's not a
rear wheel
good
drive.
transition. I would get a factory stock or maybe an eco mod.
Yeah,
for our area.
Did someone claim the motor from Saturday night? I don't think it's a claim situation. They just sell it.
Yeah, they gets bidded off. I remember listening. I was listening to that. I don't remember when me and Donis was still on the track. I brought him a beer and we were drinking a beer.
Yeah, it's not a claim
and
situation.
It was over 1,000 when I heard it. I don't remember who got it.
It's just they just
raffle it off almost.
Auction it off. Just auction it off. That's yeah. Yeah. That's the engine was auctioned off by the rules. Yeah, for sure. So
I thought about it, but as soon as it was over $500, I was like, well, I can't afford that.
Right. I thought, and I don't know if you can buy your own engine back, but you always run scenarios through your mind. And I'm like, I'd probably take mine to about 1,200. It's worth about $8.
Yeah.
It's a junk. If to buy another LS runner, it's $500. That's about what I give for them. Yeah. If Wayne doesn't send me one, it's $300 for the cam, and I don't know. I'd give another $300 or $400 just not to have to take it out.
Was it? See here it says Brandon Hood bought it. It says heard he sold over 3,000. He said he bought the motor back. So I don't know. He might have bought it back. I think he got second or third the first night, and then won the next night. So he had the cash for it.
Jimbo says he was in on it at 3,000.
Yeah.
So
that's a cool deal. And then I've only ever seen one person win both nights. Yeah. And have to get their car auctioned off, and then he won it back in a raffle. I don't know. It was a little weird, but anyway. Well, dude. We're at like 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been on here 2 hours, but everybody's been commenting, so it's been fun.
I got to piss real bad.
All right.
So we're gonna call it a time. Thanks for everybody commenting, man. This has been great. We love the comments. That kind of feeds this whole thing.
Yeah.
And
we like interacting.
We'll probably be back next week. We'll just see how it goes. World Outlaws are gonna be at Boot Hill. Late models.
I'll be there.
So we maybe I don't know. Maybe we can get one of them. Whoever wins that on here, you never know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go by. I'll be there because I'm a big Ethan Dotson fan.
Right,
I'm a friend and
he's been on the show.
Yeah, he's been. I'm a friend and a fan. We've known each other a long time and
friend.
Yeah. So Brandon, thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for following along, man. Thanks for coming and talking to us at the race this weekend. Enjoyed it. Thanks for the pictures you took and everything, and thanks for everybody, man. The weekend was a success, regardless of how we finished.
And, it was good seeing you at the races.
We had a ton of help and just a good time. Like I always say, we might not win the race, we're going to win the party.
Yep.
And it's about memories, even if you're too drunk to remember. So we had a good time. Appreciate everybody for coming on here. And we'll see y'all at the next one.
Yep.
Thank y'all.